Decision making is everything. Your life shows the kind of decision you make. So the question you ask yourself is, how will I feel if I make the right decision? What's the outcome? How will you feel when you make a decision and it's the best one? You feel proud? Decision is the sum of the life you live. Decision is what makes us who we are. Not making decision at all is also a decision. Welcome back again to this channel. I'm Maryann Nnaji. Today I'm going to be talking to you about how to make a better decision. I was having a conversation with someone some days ago, and we were talking about decision making. We talked about how to make decisions, and there are certain questions I threw to this person, but he was unable to give the answer. Because if you're able to answer some certain questions, making decision will be easy for you. And the truth is, when you don't make decision, it's a decision. In this video, I'm going to be sharing with you a few tips on how to make a better decision, because this is the result of the life we live. The decision we make is the result of the life we live. So the first thing first we need to look into is, if you watch successful people, watch the way they do things. That's to tell you the decisions they make. When you make decisions, there are a lot of things that accompany it. You make decisions based on many things, based on many factors. So all these things need to be put in place. But first and first, what I do see is, you just make any decision without considering some certain things. And that's why later on, you are like, oof. To be honest with you, any action you take in life has its own effect, like its consequences. So if you make the right move, the right choice, you have the right consequences. If you make the wrong choice, you have the wrong consequences. These things are the results. Like I said, our lives are the results of the decisions we make. The thing I see is, you make anyhow decision without considering anything. So there are things you need to consider when making decision. For you to make a better and best and good decision, there are things you need to put in place. So, but first thing first, when I talk with people one-on-one, all I do is, I ask you, what exactly made you to take that decision? Like, to go forward in putting it into action. What I see you do. You don't know what triggers you into taking an action. If you start to discover those things that triggered you, that influence you into taking an action, into putting something, like doing something, then that is the main reason you are doing what you are doing. But the problem I see is that you don't even know what triggers you in taking the decision. And as I told this person was like, wow, thinking, but he couldn't, because when you don't observe things around you, you can't even figure out anything. You just start doing things just randomly. You start doing things. No, we don't achieve success by doing things randomly, by just let's just do anything that just comes to mind. No, you have to put some things in place. So first and first, like I said, ask yourself, what is that thing that triggered me into? Now, this is because of the past choice you made. If you do not know what influenced you in making the past choices you make, it might be difficult for you in moving forward. But we can navigate this. In other words, all you need to do is start from this moment. Before you make any decision, ask yourself, this decision am I about to make, is it the right decision for me? You ask yourself this question. Maybe you are still waiting for the answer. Now, the next thing you need to ask is, will God will this decision be the right decision? Will God be happy for me to take this decision? When I refer to God, you can refer it as the universe, because He's the one who created the universe and put it the way it's functioning. So a lot of people prefer universe than God, but this is the way I believe in God, and I know He's the one who created the whole universe. We do not just exist. Something put this existence. There was nothing on earth, so He created all things. So I refer to Him as God. In case you hear me say universe, maybe for the sake of those who don't believe in God, in either way, the answer must come. You must get answers for this. But you have to listen deep within your heart. These things are not the listening of the outside. I will come to that later, because that's most reason why most people make a lot of mistakes they make today. So listen from the inside of your heart. What is your heart telling you? Not what your head is telling you. Because there's a difference between what our heart tells us and what our head tells us. So you have to know the difference between these two things. When the head is speaking and when the heart is saying his. So the point is, listen from your inner soul. Try to know what your heart is yearning for. And if your heart says no, even though your head is saying yes, go for no, because that is what God wants you to do. So I hope I have specified this based on, you really need to know, like, ask this question, get the answer, make sure you get the answer. If you are still not convinced of maybe the answers you get, just give it some time, forget about it, and continue doing other things you can do, maybe you do in the day. Later on, it will still come, it will still pop up. We are a spiritual being, so you have to know that we are not this body. We are just using this body like a vehicle. You know, when this body is like a transport system, we are here. Without this body, I will not be speaking here. Without this body, I will not be here. This body is just nothing. But it's this body that we used to, I used to communicate with you. So right now, I'm going to be explaining to you the difference between the good and the right thing. You know, I do see people in a rut. They keep telling you they are doing the good things, the good things. That is what the enemy wants you to believe, in the good things. But I want you to know one thing. A very simple trick you can use to know the difference between the right and the good and the right thing is this. Everything that is good is not always right for you. But everything that is right is always good. Just this is the only way I can explain it to you. The truth is, we see a lot of people, for instance, you know, start doing things because they are told it's a good thing to do, but actually it's not a right thing for them. So you have to know what is right for you. So always aim for the right decision, the right thing to do. Another thing again is, when making decision, I see a lot of people make this decision. They just, you know, make decision without considering anything. The truth be told, you have to consider some certain things before making decision. What are the things you put in place before you make that decision? These are the factors I always use when making decision every day of my life, even in the smallest or biggest things, even the urgent ones. These are the things I consider before making decisions. So first of all, let me give an instance. before I started making YouTube videos, something told me, start sharing what you know with people. But I was on Facebook. As I was doing these things on Facebook, I used to go live. Then, that was back, many years back. I used to, once in a while, I would go live and I would start speaking. But then, because sometimes I write, I do most of writing. My aim was to share my ideas. Then the inspiration came that I should be doing it on YouTube. I should be recording videos and be posting on YouTube. Then I used to watch YouTube videos, but I don't have any intention of making any videos. So the inspiration came that I should. So I'm like, how do I go about it? And then I used to preach word of God. So what I did was very simple. I asked myself, I'm just having my phone. How do I, go about this? So, and the thing told me, just record on your phone. This was what I used to start YouTube channel. I will record the video here. So what I do then was, I have families. I was a nursing mom then. So what I do is, I'll just put on my phone like this, and then, like I said, I'm a nursing mom, so I do breastfeed my child as I record the video. This was 2016 or 2016 when I gave birth to my third child. And I was, breastfeeding him and I'm recording the video. So I did it once and twice with it, and I wasn't really looking at how it looks like, because it's like my head, my head is what is being seen, because I don't want anyone to. So that's it. Nobody knew I was breastfeeding a child when I was making these videos. But the point there is, I have a purpose, and I considered my family when making this decision. That was why I had to record only my head. There are people who can put and show where the child is breastfeeding. I don't want it. So it's my decision. It's the things I considered. So the thing, you need to consider things around you, the factors around your circumstances. For instance, if I'm to make a decision now, I know I have 4 children and I have my husband, so there are 5, right? Whenever I'm making decision, what I do is very simple. I first of all ask the first question. I explain to you as the number 1 or number 2. As the number 2, is this right for me? Yes or no? And I will ask, is this right? If I should do this, will God be happy with me? Will the universe happy with me if I should go for this? If I should do this? Now, I listen from my heart. There are several times I battle with decision making. I battle in the sense that it's not like I don't know what to do. No. I know what to do, but I am aiming for the right things. I am not just aiming for making decision, just make any decision. No. That's why I take time mostly. Before I give something, like before I tell someone to do something, I must know the impact it has on my own life before I can share it out there. So, this is practically what I do. But let me give you an example. When I was growing, there was a day my mom was in dilemma of making a choice. And she called me. I was very young then. And then she called me because I'm the first child. She called me and said, I want to use this money for this thing, but I also need to get the other thing. So then I kept quiet. I thought for a second. And I asked her, the question I asked her was, I know you need these two things to be, like, you need these two things, but you don't have the money for the two. You have money for one, but the two are important to you. And then I asked her, which one is more important to you? So she thought for a while, then she said, she pointed the one that is more important to her. And I told her, go for it. If that's the most important thing to you right now, go for that one. Forget about the other one. God will provide for that one. I just told her this. And I told her, don't worry, do it. And she did. Later on, after some days, she told me, wow, you see what God has done? She started telling me that later on, she was able to, get the I said, that's it for you. Another thing I want to let you know is that, like I said, if I want to make decision, I want to spend something right now, I will consider this money. I know I have this money. But what if tomorrow? Or what if in the next few hours, my children will come and say they need this? What do I do? And I will think, what I am about to do with the money, will it be the best decision I make? For me or for them or for any of us? Because I consider every single soul we're making. And if the answer continues, go for it. I do. I just go for it. And things will work out just perfect as the way I anticipated. So, another thing again is, I want you to know something. God wants you to make better decisions. Not good decisions, better ones. Why is that? He wants you to, have that thinking. Bring out time. That's the problem you are having. You are not trying to bring out time to think about something. To think about that thing. You just don't want to think because you think thinking is work. No. You have to. You need to. Like we need air for living. We need these things for success. God gave us choice. I give you choice to make. I give you the option. Choose life or death. But I advise you to choose life. He said, but I advise you to choose life. He gave us the willpower to make better choices. Not just anyhow choices. When we make anyhow choices, our life becomes anyhow. We end up anyhow. Listen, if you don't make choices, things around you will make one for you. But you have to make the better choices. The thing I found out is mindset. You make the wrong decision because of your mindset. A lot of people are stuck with fixed mindset. Fixed mindset is what makes people believe, I grew up like this, so I remain like this. No, you don't remain like that. You are meant to evolve. God created us in this earth. We are here to evolve. Like I said, this body is not us. The spirit is what is speaking. He's just using the body to manifest and speak. But we are too conscious of the body, the physical one, the material things, the material aspects. We are not aiming for the spirituality. The spirituality is the real thing. So the point exactly is the mindset. So try to change your mindset. Think, how do you change your mindset to a better one? Relax your nerves. Sometimes just relax. Try to hear from other people speak. Be open-minded. This is the only way you can change that mindset. If you're not open-minded, you cannot change that mindset. So don't always believe that what you have now is what you are supposed to have. No. I am limitless. As I speak, the same thing. You are living. God has created, if you can imagine it, you can achieve it. So many times, I'm a Christian. I don't know if you're a Christian, but if you are one, you will resonate with me when I say these things. You have to evolve. You have to learn. The things of the spirit is not religious. That's the truth. You want to evolve and learn more. We are here to evolve. Like I said, this body is a vehicle that I use. I may come next time, I may not come with this body. I may come with another color. This is life. That's why the spiritual guides the physical. So the mindset, when you have a fixed mindset is very simple. Those who always believe because they grew this way, so they remain that way, they cannot change. This thing cannot. Even when you try to convince them or try to tell them the reality, they don't believe you. They are stuck with that fixed mindset. But that is not the best way to go about life. You want to achieve success, you need to evolve. We have abundant mindset. You go for growth mindset. God says you have to change your way of thinking. The Bible also told us that as a man thinketh, so he is. How do you think? That's what the Bible told us. That's what it is. Whatever is popping out in your head, give it a time. Give it time to think about it. Do not overlook it. Do not just do anyhow. No. We don't. We are the ambassador of Christ. We don't just do things anyhow. No, we consider a lot of things. So another thing when making decision, the factors I also notice is people go do the last thing first and do the first thing last. Like the book I read, there's 7 Habits of Highly Effective People. You have to start reading books because when you read books, you learn more. Like the 7 Habits of Highly Effective People in the section 3 or so or 4. First thing first, you have to learn to know which thing's supposed to be first. This is the common mistake I see you do. And that is why it's very, very difficult for you to change, for you to adapt to the right way of doing things. Before I make this video, this is what I do. I always first of all ask myself, what do I need to do first? If you want to make a decision, start asking yourself, how do I go about this? What's the first thing to do? As you listen to your inner self is the real you. Your inner self is what is telling you what to do. God can visit you in any way. He can speak from the heart. He can just make you do things without even you hearing a word. He can make you see things instantly. Whereas others are not seeing it, you are seeing it and you go for it. What are you seeing? What are you hearing? What are you discerning? Sometimes a lot of people lack the spirit of discernment, and that's why they make the wrong decisions. That is one thing you aim for in anything you do in life, to be able to discern the right things to do, not the good things. So this is part of what I also gathered as I spoke to this person a few days ago. Because the person told me that there was a voice that told him to go, whereas he wanted to stay, but a voice told him to go, and he went. As he went, things doesn't work out the way he planned. So that's why I said a lot of people are not living effectively. Living life is not emotion. A lot of people will tell you to find something to. I am the busy type, but I still have time for the inner soul, the real soul speaking. Some days I may plan to do these things, but once that moment comes, the Spirit tells me. It may not speak to me, but within my heart I'm hearing. You just have to take time. You just have to take time and do the necessary things, and then The Bible says you put it in your heart. The word is in your heart. If you can, like I said, everything I do revolves around God. God is the creator of the universe. He is the maker of all things. He is the reason why I exist. Without him, I would not be here because I have a lot of enemies. I have a lot of enemies. I know there are people who don't like me the way I am. I don't care. I don't give a damn. You know why? Because I want to be who God says I will be. I work towards that, becoming the best version of me. Sometimes I do ask, why do we make those decisions? Even though we know the implication, we still go for it. Because we are too used to a kind of certain things, certain environments. You have to know the kind of people you mingle with. Like I said, you have to start reading books. If you don't have time to read books, you think you are always on the move, you don't really have time to stay one place and read a physical book, then go for audiobook. Listen to book in your cars if you have one. Even if you don't drive, you ride bicycle, have audiobook, put it in your ears and be doing what you're doing. A lot of us do not really have time to do the most important things this soul need. We need to learn and evolve. That's why we are here. Before I forgot, another thing is, when making decision, do you know there are times you need to make decision faster than there are times we need time to make decisions. Now, in making decision, there are decisions that need to take time to think about it. And there are decisions you don't need to take time on it. And now, the problem is, we don't put each one in each box where it belongs. Now, the decisions that we need to take time and think about it, we go for it in a rush. And that's why we make the wrong decisions. Now, the one that we need to, make decision fast, like decide what it is, we take time. That's the thing. When I buy courses, I consider a lot of things. There are courses I bought many years ago. I bought it for my children. Do you know why? Those courses I bought, even though there are ones I did myself, I buy things because I consider they are growing. In future, they will need this kind of thing. So, since I have access to this course, they will have access to it. I consider them also when I buy I buy the courses. I remembered when I bought a coding course for my son. That was about 4 or 5 years ago. I can't remember, 3 or 4 or 5 years ago. I bought this coding course, not for him, not for my son in particular, but for my children. And when I bought the course, I started telling my son that, oh, listen, I bought some course. Will you be interested to, learn about it? He was like, so the way he was like, I'm like, can't you make a choice? Are you interested? Yes or no? I just need an answer. So he was like trying to please me. And I said, no, I need you to speak your mind. He said yes. Reluctantly, he said yes. And when he said yes, I knew he was trying to please me. And I said, no, I know you don't want it, but don't worry. I know a day will come. You will need this course like you need water. So the point I want to make out of this is, when I make decisions, I don't just make decisions because I feel like it's what I want. No, I consider people around me. I consider the situations around me. I consider a lot of things when making this choice. So that is the main thing. So for you to make the best and better decisions for yourself, think of if you have made wrong decisions in the past, this is crucial. Ask yourself, what made me to just get one particular thing that happened recently. Use it as a case scenario. Start looking back towards that thing. What was the thing that made you to make the decision? There are people who make decisions, those who are too attached to some certain things. Like I said, some make decisions based on money. Once money is involved, they will go for it. Some make decisions based on cheap things. Some make decisions based on, because it's not cheap, I go for it. It's the best thing. A lot of factors people use in making decisions. So know what makes you make that decision that time you made the decision. What was the factors? Because those things are the clues you will use in solving the problem and twisting those things into the better way of making decisions. So you ask yourself, what was the thing that made you make that decision? Think about it. Bring out time to really think. What was I thinking? What was the thing that made me make that decision? Why did I go for that thing? Note it down. Then next time, when making decision, ask yourself, is this thing right for me? If it is right for you, ask yourself, is it right for the universe? Because the universe pays us back what we give. If you purposely want to harm someone, it will come back in return, because what we give is what we get. I feel bad when I see people make wrong decisions, because there are better ways. More excellent ways, the Bible tells us. So I believe in the better one. So we go for the better things. We go for the better way to making things happen for us, making things happen for you. So I hope this video helps someone out there. If you really think because if I'm to speak, there are a lot of things like I will speak on those things, because I know a lot of things are happening. We are too attached to things that is making us not being able to think of the most important thing in life. The most important thing is not making the motion, but are you really making the right motion? Consider these things I told you. Put it to work, and you will see the effect of making the right decision. You will be happy. You will be glad. Oh, I took this step. If there are other ways you think I can help you, let me know also in the comment section below. Or better still, you can email me at glamourann19@gmail.com directly, and I will hear maybe if there are other things you want me to talk about, or to give idea, understanding, enlighten about, I will definitely. And that's why I'm here. I'm here to share my ideas. I'm here to help you become the best version of you. So thank you for staying tuned to the end of this video, and I'll be seeing you on this video. Bye.